Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. We're in another medieval tavern, much like one I was in ages ago when I was talking about this, my lack of a dagger. This is actually a kitchen knife, and I'm more than happy to admit that this is in fact a kitchen knife. And I had done a whole video about how the fact that I, in my collecting of medieval gear, medieval weaponry, chainmail, shields, you name it, just recently got myself a Crusader helm. So I'm very big into collecting the stuff of D&D. But I had never got myself a dagger. And I held up this kitchen knife as a way to talk about the dagger, a very important cornerstone of not only D&D medieval fantasy adventures, but like really handy out there in the real world. I mean, any camper, any Boy Scout will tell you need some kind of a knife for just surviving out there. They're very useful things. So I'd always felt bad that I never really got myself a proper dagger. As a D&D collector, what the heck is wrong with me? Well, consider that day fixed. I got a dagger, a real Templar dagger. This is awesome. This is one that I got. I recently visited the UK and went to a variety of places, a lot of castles and stuff. I did a video where I showed off the filming locations from the Dungeons and Dragons movie. That was a lot of fun. Went hither and yon all over the kingdom. And although I visited quite a few castles on that trip, didn't really find anything on that part of the journey, but I did go to Carlisle Castle. And while we were there, enjoyed looking around, got myself locked in the dungeon like a fool, managed to have a very interesting little visit, see all of the different parts of the castle, much of its history throughout all of its time as the border between England and Scotland. Won't go into that much stuff. Google the Carlisle Castle history, it's fascinating. But while in the store, they had this, a dagger, a proper medieval dagger. The label that comes with it lists it as a Templar dagger. And I was just like, oh man, I gotta take that. I gotta get myself a dagger. I will finally undo the damage of the past. I will have myself a dagger. Now, there's a couple of interesting elements to getting this home to Canada. One of which being how this symbol saved the journey back home of the dagger. But we'll get to there in a minute. I'm going to now unbox this appropriately or correctly so you can see what it was like when I got it home. So here we go. It came in this big long box. What does that say there? E.H. Templar Dagger. Heritage. Templar Dagger. What's that say? Not sure. Yeah, no, it was funny. The guy, when I went to the shop, the guy said, let me go down to the armory. And this is what he produced. And it's pretty big. It's a couple of feet long, this box. Like the dagger, I think, is only this big. We're about to find out. But I was really quite concerned when I thought, how am I going to get that in the suitcase? However, we managed. So let's open it up. Got a dagger to unbox my dagger with. Let's carefully, now these are holding the dagger in place, so let's just cut carefully here. I haven't used this knife in a long time. I hope it's still got a bit of a blade. Oh, it does. Bit of sharpness to it. I come back to you, and finally, gotta be careful here. I am using an old dagger on new tape, so let's just go carefully. Yeah, this is one of those things, isn't it, where it's got like the tab? I suspect. Yeah, that's going to be a bit dicey. Oh wait, got it. All right. Let's see what the Templar dagger from Carlisle Castle looks like. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, okay, it's in a... What? Okay, first of all, we've got lots of desiccate here. What's this? It's got a little... Let me turn it around. So it's got a little... Okay, in that bag is a little label that just says Templar Dagger. Solid brass pommel and guard. And there's that symbol, but we'll get back to that. And we have some desiccants to protect it. I will hold the dagger up in a sec. Is this a scabbard? If so, I am impressed. Let's see if we can free this guy. You know what? Let's pull the dagger out. Carefully. Actually, let's unscrew. Here we go. There we go. All right, we'll get to the dagger in a second. What is this? Is this a scabbard for the dagger? Because I did not realize it came with a scabbard. If so, that's cool. This is a scabbard. Oh my god, I did not realize it would come with that. That's nice. Oh wow. That is like, it's not bending. I did not realize it would actually come with a scabbard. That's cool. Nice bit of work. All right, well, let's stop avoiding. Let's check out the dagger. Very nice. Very heavy. Got a good weight. And actually, now that I feel this end, there's something soft. There's like a... It's not just the rolls of tape. They've got the point of the dagger in some kind of protective thing that's hard. Obviously, to keep it from, like, piercing through the packaging. Hang on a sec. Alright, well, actually, let's try it from this end here. I think I can free the pommel end, and then we'll pull the whole thing out. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. Now, what is down the end of this thing? I'll deal with that later, but there's definitely, like, a plastic protective... Yeah, you can make it out there. There's a plastic protective piece here to keep it from penetrating. That's cool. So there is my dagger. Very, very nice. It's actually got oil on the blade, I think, which is good. It'll keep it from rusting and stuff. It's nicely balanced. It is dull as anything. Don't worry, you're not going to cut yourself or hurt yourself on that. There is that symbol to which I will refer later. Very, very nice. That feels good. That is a proper... Yeah, that... Oh, man, that is super, super attractive. I am so happy. All right, let's try it in the scabbard. I didn't realize it would come with one. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like the crimson leather. Oh man, that is very, very cool. And interesting. So the symbols, there's the cross thing, the Templar thing on that side, and then our other symbol that I will discuss in a moment. But yeah, there we go. Huzzah! Et tu, Brute. Okay, slightly different era. But there is my dagger. Nice. Yes. A dagger and its scabbard. This is awesome. I am so impressed that it comes with a proper leather. I'm not sure what that thing is made of, but I love that I love that scabbard, and I love this dagger. This is really, really nice to finally undo the limit of not having such a thing in my collection of the past. I now can say quite proudly I have all of it. And the design, so there were a couple of dagger options. There was this one, which obviously I got home. There was another one that had, like, this is very, the red handle on here and the red scabbard, it's a little loud, if you will, but it goes nicely with my my battle axe, which also has a red leather handle on it. So I just thought, well, that's in keeping with the theme. And secondly, the other dagger was part of the hilt was made of cow horn or bull horn and bone and stuff. And I thought, I'm not necessarily thrilled for the entertainment value that I'm getting from this collection. I don't know that I want animal parts as part of that. So no, give me the one with the red leather hilt. This is awesome. It came with this little thing here, Templar dagger, and then on the back it just goes into some details about who the Knights Templar were. Anybody who's seen the Da Vinci Code and stuff, you know all about the Knights Templar. I don't need to go into that. Basis for the Dungeons & Dragons Paladin, by the way. However, I wanted to just say that I'm so happy that I now have a proper dagger in my collection. But I also want to tell the tale of, what do you mean this symbol saved things? So this little crosshatch sign is actually a symbol of the British Heritage organization. If you are living in the UK and you want to have a way to support castles and cathedrals and burial mounds and all these different important historical places, you can be a member of the British Heritage Society. You can get, like, I think a monthly pass where you can get into these places. On that, you show your card carrying member, I guess, and you have all these other little benefits and things like that. But what I think, and this is purely speculation, might have been the real winner for me and this dagger having that symbol is the fact that when we went from Carlisle, we then went to Northern Ireland, where I filmed the Dungeons & Dragons filming locations, which was awesome. But I remember getting on the flight and lining up for the going through customs, and not customs, but like going through getting all of our paperwork, getting our suitcases packed up and all that stuff. And I clearly recall a sign that said, what are restricted items on the flight, even in your carry-on luggage. Never mind, or not carry-on, but like your packed luggage, where you are putting into the storage of the airplane, there are certain things that are not allowed. Among which were sharp items and things, for example, workman's tools. You're not even allowed to take it. I guess if you're a carpenter, you can't take your hammer and your screwdrivers and stuff with you from England over to Northern Ireland. I was like, okay, because I've got that long box sitting in the suitcase. I'm not going to be able to get this dagger home, am I? That really sucks, because it's so awesome looking and I really, really want to have a dagger. So, I just thought, well, if it ain't happening, it ain't happening. I guess I will just do without my dagger that I finally, after decades, finally added to my collection. I go, that's it. It's not going to happen. Well, lo and behold, I get to Northern Ireland, open up the suitcase, first thing I do when I get in, and the box is still there. The dagger remains. I managed to get it home. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope their X-ray machines were scanning and probably saw this thing in the suitcase and were like, wait a minute, what's that? And I'm thinking in my mind, because it was still there when we got to Ireland, maybe they scanned and they saw this symbol and they're like, oh, it's a British Heritage thing. It's one of these Dungeons and Dragons type players who are, watching too much Game of Thrones. It's probably fine. It's probably dull, which I can assure you it totally is. What's the tip? I didn't really feel the tip. Ooh, it's not bad. I don't know that I could probably I could probably skewer a cork on there or something like that, but I will keep it out of people's faces. I think maybe they saw that symbol. They thought, oh, it's a collector thing. It's a British Heritage thing. It's fine. Let them go through. So, thank you to the British Heritage Society for allowing me to actually get this dagger back to Canada, where it will now reside with my other weapons, my swords, my shields, my maces, my morning stars, flails, you name it. It's going to go with all of those items very, very happily for me. Anyway, I shall now take this forth, resist the urge to do a backstab and get +2, and I will bid you all good day. So, until next time, we will see you down the rabbit hole.